Hi, welcome to our channel.
I hit dead on with it, Welcome back. Going to bring you another video, try to make it short and sweet on the new Taurus TX22. I won't go too crazy in depth with that. I just want to tell you my experience with it and basically tell you kind of what I had in mind and the reason that I purchased this handgun, and going forward from there, you know, just what I plan to do with it. I'll just start off by saying I'm generally not the biggest Taurus fan. I'll be completely honest. I don't have a problem with Taurus. I think a lot of their older stuff was kind of, you know, garbage. But I think a lot of their newer production stuff, not even the brand new stuff, but just, you know, the last few years they've really came a long way. I do own other Tauruses. I'm not a Taurus hater, and I think they're a pretty good company overall now. But with that out of the way, what this is, you probably already have an idea, but it's a 16 shot, 22 long rifle. It's a full size gun. It's I think it's got like a 4-inch barrel. It has adjustable sights on the rear for windage and elevation. It has a white dot on the front, and it did have white dots on the rear, but I blacked them out in the rear. That's just my personal preference. I like the blacked out sight with whatever you have going on in the front. It just draws your eye to it. That's just me. It does have a manual safety, which I completely ignore. It's very positive, so it hasn't gotten in my way whatsoever. Very unusual because this is a striker fired 22. I'm not aware of any others on the market like it. So I'm going to show you how easy it comes apart. It has a very unique locking system, how it locks up. It's still a blowback operated gun, like, you know, all rimfires, but it is a striker fire. It goes back together real simple, just like that. So it's pretty cool in that regard. It has front and rear slide serrations, has a pretty big trigger guard, got a Picatinny rail. I didn't point out that it has a little, the breakdown is right here. You probably saw me do it. It's real simple. Magazine release is swappable. Like I mentioned, it has a manual safety. Very good texturing, especially for a 22. It also has these little cutouts here. So if you were to have a double feed, which you will have with a 22, you can just, you know, expect that. That's just the name of the game. It allows you to have something to rip the magazine out. Has a very functional slide stop, slide release, if you like to use it that way. I mentioned the press checks. It's real nice and flat. Has a real nice, or I should say a really small ejection port. But I don't see that as being a downside. You can see some oil running out of it. I just cleaned it a day or two ago. But all in all, it's been a really, really good gun. I've had it for about a month, and I have shot this thing pretty extensively. I haven't kept, you know, exactly track of how many rounds I've put through it. I pretty much shoot, as far as just plinking ammo, I shoot just the bulk Federal 22s. You know, it's the 36 grain hollow points. You can get them in 550 packs. I buy them at Walmart for 20 bucks, and I go through a lot of those packs. I do shoot a lot of rimfire. I am a very, very big fan of training with rimfire. If you see my video on this rifle here, this is my dedicated 22 AR. That's, you know, just basically a complete clone of my full-size AR. You know, I've went over this in some of my other videos. You know, training for rimfire with rimfire isn't for everyone, but for me, I think it's a very, very good idea. I realize rimfire does not have the recoil, but in the case of something like this, in the case of this AR-22 here, I can replicate every other function other than recoil. So I do a lot of drills that just consist of me shooting, you know, multiple targets, and I'll only shoot them one shot each. And that way I practice all the transitions, all the mag changes, Being rimfire, even the best of the best is going to have malfunctions, so I can practice my malfunction clearing. I can get all those repetitions out of the holster from the low ready with the rifle, low ready with the pistol. It's just a lot of good reasons I think training with rimfire is smart, and obviously the most obvious reason is the economical side. It's very, very cheap. It allows me to get thousands and thousands more rounds, more repetitions, working the slide, changing magazines, everything that I just simply wouldn't be able to afford. Now, it doesn't take the place of training with centerfire, not whatsoever. I still train with centerfire, but I do think that this is a good way to get in a lot more rounds, a lot more trigger time and repetitions if you can't afford to shoot centerfire all the time. But with that out of the way, I have shot this thing pretty extensively. I haven't really kept up exactly. I've had it almost a month. I don't know, like 25 days or something like that. I don't know exactly. I looked at the calendar earlier, but now I forgot. But I have put somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 rounds through this gun. And yes, I said 1,000. Probably, if I had to guess, I would say more like 2,500 to 2,800. That would be my ballpark. Definitely over 2,500. I can say that pretty confidently, but probably not quite 3,000. But the day isn't over yet. So I'm about to start shooting now. I'm sitting down here at my range. I was about to do some training. See, I got some cones set up there. And, oh, excuse me there. My tripod went limp. No pun intended. And anyway, so I'm fixing to shoot this thing some more, and I just want to bring you guys and show you a quick video. But it's been extremely reliable for me. It's a 22, so you know you're going the best 22s out there still have malfunctions. I would say 99.9% of the malfunctions I've had with this gun, which have been limited, have been ammo related. Weak ammo, bad primer, or the case, which is very common for me with rimfire guns, is I have a really high grip, and I'll ride that slide, and I'll slow that slide down, and I'll induce malfunctions. So, you know, all in all, I think it is extremely reliable for the amount of rounds that I have put through it. Like I said, I really can't remember any malfunctions, to be honest, that I wouldn't class as ammo related. But with that being said, you know, I don't think you'll go wrong with this. I mean, it's a Taurus, and that's going to turn some people off. The trigger, I'm sorry I skipped that, but the trigger, they advertise it at like 5.5 or 6 pounds. You'll have to take my word for it, but on my trigger pull gauge, it breaks at a nice 4 pounds, or 4.5 pounds, I'm sorry. You got that little bit of take up. You can see me taking it up there. You hit a very abrupt wall, and then it's very, very clean. Action cycles. Very, very short reset. I absolutely, I love this trigger. You will not have any complaints with the trigger. Accuracy has been phenomenal. No complaints there. And, yeah, just all in all, a great rimfire gun for plinking, maybe training a new shooter. Or if you're an experienced shooter and you're just looking to kind of save some money, you know, cut some corners on ammo, I think this is a good idea. I mean, I shoot a lot of Glocks. I shoot a lot of CZs. I mean, I shoot a little bit of everything. And I picked this thing up on the first day, zeroed the sights, and there was no learning curve. I instantly started running drills, doing mag changes, manipulations, and it just felt like an old friend. There was not like I had to get used to the grip or how to hold it. It was just, it just ran. And speaking of that, one thing I'm going to notice, you see this magazine is loaded. The gun does ship with 2 magazines, which is also something I like about this gun. The magazines aren't really a double stack, but they're bigger than most 22 mags that you see, and so they fit pretty well in standard mag pouches, which is really nice, once again, if you're going to use this as a trainer or just around the farm plinking or shooting snakes or whatever. But they're all polymer magazine. I really have no complaints. I mean, they're a little difficult to load, but I mean, they're 22 mags. That's just how it is. They break down, they break down just like you'd expect. You push the button and it comes off. You might not can tell. You can see how beat up the floor plates are because I have dropped these things a lot. I'm not easy on my rimfire guns like this. This gun is, for me, nothing more than a trainer. You know, I mean, it could be used seriously if you needed it to be. I'm not saying that, but for me, it is a dedicated trainer. It's a gun that I'm going to shoot a lot of rounds through and do a lot of practicing with just to save money. And so it gets kind of abused. I mean, I don't clean them as much as I should. The mags get stepped on. I mean, we ran over them with the four-wheelers. I mean, literally, we're pretty hard on them. But anyway, that's the magazines. They are loaded. The gun, of course, is unloaded. You've probably already seen that. So that's that. I was just going to roll this in too. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P Compact 22. It's unloaded. You know, there's your 10 round mags for it. Notice this is a 10, this is a 16. You can see how thin these are, which is kind of a complaint from me for doing practicing and things. I always found these mags kind of awkward because they just don't fit in any pouches or anything like that. They're excellent mags. You know, the Smith & Wesson 22 is a great gun, but the magazines just, in that regard, left a little to be desired. But on the other hand, they don't need to be bigger because this is a relatively small handgun. So, I don't know if you can see that there. You know, it is considerably smaller. I'll take the mag out of both of them to be fair. This isn't really a comparison video, but it is much smaller of a handgun. So in that regard, kind of my intentions is, like I said, I'm not saying don't train with your centerfire guns. Absolutely train with your centerfire guns. That is the most important. But when I train with rimfire, which is pretty frequently, and I'm doing concealed carry training where I'm using, you know, I've got an inside the waistband holster, I've got an extra magazine in a concealed location, etc., etc. This is still the pistol going forward that I use because it's smaller. This kind of replicates my carry gun a little bit better, in my opinion, once again. Because it's a smaller gun, it's more on the single stack design, etc., which is more like something I would carry. But when I'm doing something outside the waistband on a war belt or something like that, this kind of replicates the type of gun I would be carrying. More of a double stack, you know, a handful of gun, you get a really good full grip, a little bit longer sight radius, etc. So that's kind of my, you know, my theory with this gun. Is this kind of my trainer for outside the waistband full size, and this is kind of my trainer for inside the waistband concealed. Now with that being said, I've trained with this some inside the waistband because I do occasionally carry a full size 9mm, you know, that's this big or even bigger. So it can definitely fill a lot of roles in that variety. But anyway, that's pretty much the rundown on it. You know, hope this was helpful. I just wanted to kind of give my opinions and just show it off a little bit. I really enjoy this thing. I haven't been out a super long time. You probably saw one shooting clip in the beginning. I'm going to roll in some more shooting footage at the end. You know, you don't even have to watch it, but it's just going to be a lot of footage of me shooting, transitioning, doing mag changes, different things like that. There may even be a malfunction or two in there, like I said, which are pretty much exclusively ammo related. You'll see me clear those malfunctions and just keep right on going. I think I have footage of that, but all in all, it's just a really nice pistol, and I've really enjoyed it. And I think for my intended purpose, it is going to be a great one. A lot of rounds through it. Now, once again, I'm not trying to talk too much here and make this video, you know, 30 minutes long. But speaking about one more thing about the Smith & Wesson Compact, I mentioned that I have 2,000 to 3,000 rounds through this gun. I have upwards of 20,000 through this little 22 compact. Now, I'd say about 22 to 25,000. Granted, I did have to send it back to Smith & Wesson a while back, and because it started having some malfunctioning problems. But like I said, it was 25,000 rounds in. You know, what do you expect? And Smith & Wesson replaced the barrel and the firing pin, and it has been 100% reliable ever since. But with that round count, the amount of times I've shot this gun, I mentioned how I'm kind of harder on these guns because I do use them as dedicated trainers. I'm not, you know, not complaining. This gun has been great. I've got a bunch of magazines for it, and I'm hard on them. They're all beat up, scratched up, and it's ran. One more note I'll touch on, and I'll let you know, is the magazines. I only have the 2. That's one kind of downfall right now. This gun's kind of new, so you can't get the mags for it yet. I emailed Taurus, and they just simply said the best thing to do was keep an eye on their website, that they would be coming in stock, and then, you know, just place your order. So I've been looking at that website every few days, and they haven't came in stock yet, but hopefully they will sooner than later. So that's about it. I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you enjoy the shooting footage. I'm about to do a little bit more shooting, so I may use some of that footage. I'm doing some rimfire stuff, as you would expect. So I'm going to have my 22 dedicated 22 AR there, and be running this one today. I'm not actually going to run the Smith. I've actually been shooting the Smith all week, just working from concealment. Put several thousand rounds through it this week, doing some concealed carry training and different things. And anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this video wasn't too lengthy and I didn't ramble too much. I just really enjoy this gun, enjoy shooting it. If you have any questions about this gun or anything that I've mentioned, or anything about the range or anything else like that, just feel free to drop it in the comments, and I will try to answer the best I can. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Probably can't see that. We got a nice hard primer strike and the round didn't go off. That would be ammo related, not gun related.